My name is Kari Kauenhofen, and my role is Community and Resource Development here at Genesis House. I have the privilege of being able to go out into the community and connect with businesses and individuals, different community groups, and try and engage and bring awareness to who Genesis House is and what services we provide. I sometimes joke that I am the walking storefront because people aren't always able to access our services unless calling the crisis line. I actually really wanted this job, and Ange, our executive director, heard from me early on, and I had once seen her speak at Power of the Purse when my babies were young, and she had such passion and knowledge about the subject of women and domestic abuse, and I saw that and I wanted to be a part of it. So when she spoke at Power of the Purse, she did an exercise where she was trying to show the community and the women at the table that 1 in 4, which is our statistic, experiences domestic abuse or have been in a situation where domestic abuse has been present. When I saw the women stand up around the table, it hit me, and I realized that sitting around my table and seeing the 8 women that were there, that I was sitting among somebody who may have experienced domestic abuse, and that we don't always know what people's stories are. For me, it was a reminder to be kind because we don't know what somebody is going through, and to also learn about why somebody may stay in a relationship where domestic abuse is present. My job, when I contacted Ange to see she was hiring for this position, and I so wanted to be a part of it, I really love the idea of exposing and bringing into the light the issue. And between her speaking at Power of the Purse and then my wanting to be a part of something bigger, I was able to get this role here, and I'm just so thankful to be able to be a part of this. The majority of my work is done outside of the shelter. I sometimes am on site, but I go and I do presentations. I am entrusted with people's stories, and I try and present that in a way to engage and to help understand maybe other people's situations. And some people aren't able to talk about their experience, so therefore I have that privilege of being able to do that. To me, unmasking domestic abuse in our communities isn't just to display it for the world to see. It's to help show that people are real, that we are all struggling. Like I said before, we don't know what people are going through, and to help families be healthier without judgment. I have children, and they're sitting beside other people's children in school, and to understand that it's not just a women's issue, it's not just an adult issue, but it affects our kids, it affects our parents and those that are elderly. And if the statistic is 1 in 4, that we know that it's going on in our community. So how can we be real about it, and how can we move forward in order to help families? My hope in being able to connect with people is to bring some sort of hope, either with my presentations or with my Instagram posts or the Facebook posts, to bring some education, to let people know that they are not alone, that there are supports out there. If they are feeling isolated, that they have access to know that other people are maybe in that situation. When we unmask the hurts of ourselves and of others, we can move forward, and we can live freely and move towards healing. And I have the privilege of being able to connect with our community in this. There's a poem that I once found that I think does a good job of summing up the experience. We have staff that are incredible at connecting with clients or women that show up at our doors. It goes like this: being an advocate means you will never be bored. You will be frustrated. You will be surrounded by challenges. So much to do and so little time. You will step into people's lives and make a difference. You will plant seeds. Some will bless you and some will curse you. You will never cease to be amazed at people's capacity for love, courage, and endurance. You will experience resounding triumphs and devastating failures. You will see firsts and lasts. You will laugh a lot. You will cry a lot. You will know what it is to be human and humane. The author is unknown. I do have something written down because sometimes my thoughts get all jumbled. I am always learning from the staff and women that choose to show up at our doors, the friends that share their experiences of childhood where their homes were not peaceful. I am trusted with stories that stretch my emotions, challenge my thinking, and spur me to try and be better. To me, unmasking domestic abuse in our communities is not for necessarily the world to see, but to allow others to be real, to help people get supports without judgment, and to work together to help families become healthier and relationships to be stronger and better. I want for my child and my children and my friends' children and those in this community to know that there is a better way of doing things, to know that they are loved and that they can find strength to change their situation. I would like it for all homes to be a place of peace. When I think of what the staff that work here and I get to work alongside them, I think of a story of a child who shows up at our door at 2 o'clock in the morning. And the story always stood out to me, partly because I have kids and partly because I love animals. And generally we are not a pet-friendly shelter, and there's different reasons for that because of allergies, and we are working towards changing that. But that night at 2 in the morning, we had a child who knew that this was a safe place, who was experiencing a situation where she was able to escape the house that she was in. And sorry, this brings me to tears a bit. Had her little kitten and rang the doorbell. And the staff that night said, this is a pet-friendly shelter, and took the child in and got safety for the child and the woman and assisted that family to be safe. Those are the people that we work with. Those are the staff that I have the privilege of being on the team with. I want the community to understand that the women that work here are incredibly compassionate. They're full of grace. They are not judgmental. And being able to be a part of this team and to learn from the women that walk through our doors to use these services, from the staff that answer the crisis line, from our administration, who Karen does everything to try and make our jobs easier, to Ange, who has given her, in some ways, her life to serving the women of our community, that we are so incredibly blessed to have this in our community. But yet, we have also seen the blessings and the gifts from those that may not be able to work on site or volunteer on site, but who want to serve families, to have healthier families in our community. I just think it's a fantastic team and a fantastic community that we're a part of.